Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Code Your Future 40 Minutes Coding Workshop for non-coders. And this morning, this is in partnership with DICT Region 4A and 4B. Hello po sa ating mga viewers sa YouTube. Meron kanina nakita ko mga early bird. Kanina pa sila naghihintay sa YouTube. We have from Laguna, from Bicol, sino pa? We have from Cavite. Hello sa inyo diyan. Kumusta yung weather? Dito sa part namin medyo makulimlim kasi. So how is it over there? Is it sunny, cloudy? You can type in here. How are you today? You can say good, so. Paano ba? All right, we have a lot from Cavite. We have from Siquijor State College. Welcome. Yes, we have here. Oh, it's cloudy din sa inyo dyan. Okay. Cloudy here in Laguna. Oh, so cloudy din sa inyo dyan. Okay. So lang. Okay. So I hope you are excited. I hope you are excited for our workshop this morning, no? Is this your first time ba for our workshop? Second time? Okay. Cloudy daw, tsaka excited din naman. So, hindi siya affected sa cloudy weather. You can type in here first if first time yung sumali sa Code Your Future workshop natin. Pwede din second. Oh, okay. First time. Yes, first. First time. Wow. So, I'm also very excited for you guys if that's the case. Okay. So here no you are please feel free to comment here sa comment section natin. Later we will be asking updates along the way sa workshop. And if you have questions, just comment them here. We will have our team answering or assisting you with the workshop later. Oh, meron tayong second time. That's good. Okay. And also, if you'd like to share with your friends, remember to use the hashtag Code Your Future PH. Again, that's hashtag Code Your Future PH. So, share nyo naman sa mga friends nyo so they will know that we do have or we have the Code Your Future workshop this morning. Oh, ang daming mga first-timers, no, na sumali. Good to have you here, guys. Meron ding a few na second time. Okay. All right. So, um, right now, before we go to the very exciting workshop later, I'd like to share with you if since a lot of you are mga first timers po dito sa workshop natin. So, Code Your Future po is an initiative with the ICT. And this initiative is, it aims to elevate more Filipinos to become tech professionals. And how do we do this one? We do it through Filipinos with no coding background up until you become a successful tech professional. So if you might be wondering why the tech industry, this is because in the tech industry you have the highest salary profession in any industries. So ngayon po dito sa Philippines, it is the highest salary profession. Also, it's very high demand. As you can see, we are having our workshop live. So it's a very flat world nowadays. So that's why the tech industry or the tech professionals are in high demand. Next would be the work flexibility. Kasi we work on our computers, we can work remotely kahit you have maybe a quick errand to run to, you go to cafes, maybe we also have some in our team who go to the beach and work maybe. You can do it in the comforts of your home or even in the office pag meron. So very flexible uh, yung work in the tech industry. And next is there is no formal education required. So later we will have a please stay a bit after the workshop. We have a quick info session. So I hope you will stay on after that one. Kasi we will be discussing to you an opportunity with regards to this one. Why you can still pursue a tech career even though you have no formal education. Okay. And joining the Code Your Future, you can treat this as your stepping stone in getting closer to to become a successful programmer. All right. So, and of course, you are not alone in this tech industry. We are inviting you to join the Code Your Future Facebook community where you can connect with our fellow Filipinos who are also learning how to code. We also have members there who are career shifters. If you want to start your tech career, you can talk about it there. You can share with your experience. You can ask questions and many more. Also, you can get the latest updates on upcoming workshops and career sessions. All right, so let us not delay any further. I'm sure you're very excited already for your workshop. But before we go there, I would like to invite or yes, I would like to invite our regional director, Cheryl C. Ortega, to give a very warm welcome message.
A pleasant morning to our respective partners from StackTrek and to our registered participants from various sectors in Calabarzon and Mimaropa. The advent of digital technology has greatly affected the availability of opportunities for our personal and professional growth as it opened up more chances for career development without requiring one's physical presence. With this scenario at hand, the importance of strengthening the ICT skills of our fellow Filipinos is part of our mandate in the department as we aspire for the Philippines to develop and flourish through innovation and constant development of ICT. Given this vision, it will be hard for us to succeed alone. Thus, we are grateful for this partnership with StackTrek as we offer ways to welcome more digitally inclined and ready individuals on our transition to a digital Philippines. Code Your Future initiative, jointly launched by the DICT and StackTrek, is the country's largest tech talent development project that aims to create more job-ready programmers that meets the needs of the tech industry and is really a perfect venue to provide ideas and knowledge and vision to give profound opportunities in information and communications technology. May it be in strengthening of academic or employment careers of our participants. I am excited on what our partners from StackTrek can offer to all our non-coders on this 40 minutes coding workshop, and may our participants be able to pass on the knowledge to other people so you can likely take part as we work together in harmony in looking forward to a digitized nation, because technology in the classroom is not the end goal. Enabling learning everywhere is the goal, and that is a quote from Andrew Ladders.
All right, there we have it. Thank you very much, Mom Cheryl. Okay, so let us proceed to the most exciting part, which is the workshop. So I'm very excited for you guys. Let's all welcome our very own senior software engineer here at StackTrek, Jive Monterosa. Welcome, Jive. Good
Hello, Casey.
morning.
Good morning.
Yes, take it away,
How are
Jive.
you?
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
fine. I'm fine.
Thank you, Casey.
All right.
All right, so good morning again, everyone. So I am Jive, a software engineer and an instructor here at StackTrek. So actually, I've seen a lot of comments here that this is their first time. This is their first workshop that they have attended, but this is currently my fourth time actually with StackTrek to be able to do the coding workshop, and it still amazes me how there's so much people every time that are new and wanted to venture into the IT industry, into the IT world. So I'm pretty much excited to start this session this morning with everyone. All right. So again, I am Jive. I'm a current instructor at StackTrek. So our goal for today is to build our first program using Python, but really our main purpose is to be able to motivate people who are, career shifters, who have no background in programming, that hey, it's never too late to try something new. And programming is for everyone as long as you put the passion into it. So yes, so I'm very much excited as we um, do coding workshops that provide more industry ready programmers. All right, so let's begin. I will share my screen. Just give me a few moments. All right, I think everyone can see my screen right now. All right. So again, welcome to the CYF or Code Your Future, where our mission is to produce more industry-ready programmers. So basically, for today's session, we'll be going to talk about Python as a programming language. So most of our discussion right now will be the basics of Python. It's going to talk about the fundamentals of Python because we all start from the basics. We all start from there. We don't learn things that are complex without starting from the very beginning. So that's why we're starting from the basics, and we chose Python because Python is the more industry friendly and beginner friendly programming language. All right, so let's start. So like any other programming languages, we kind of have data. We kind of have those things or variables that we call data. So data exists across different programming languages, and each data that we have has types. All right. So we have types. So what are data types? So data types in Python are the classes or instances of these objects. It's what we use to define these data types. And in Python, there are a lot of data types that we consider and that we have. So an example of a data type that we have is an integer. So we have an integer data type. So an integer data type can be of any length, and basically it's just a number. Okay, it's only limited by its memory available, but it's just a number. An example of an integer data type would be 5. For example, here 5, 0, 1, 3, 2, 6, 8. All those numbers are examples of integers. All right, next data type that we're going to talk about is floating point. So floating point data types are numbers that are accurate up to 5 decimal places. So an example would be 2.5, 1.2, 0.8, 0.7, 1.6, 2.4, and so on. So those are examples of floating point, and I will discuss what's the purpose or how important it is to have a floating point value in Python. So basically, those numbers that are whole numbers, we call them as integers, and those numbers that have decimal places, we call them as floating point types. All right. The next data type that we're going to talk about are strings. So Python strings is a sequence of Unicode characters. So we can use the single quote or double quote to represent strings. Multi-line strings can be denoted by a double or triple quote. So basically, we have the integers, we have the floating points, and we have strings. So strings can be of any sequence of Unicode characters. It can be my name, it can be Jive, It can be StackTrek, because that's a sequence of Unicode characters STACKTREK. So that is an example of a Unicode string in Python, or I mean a string data type in Python. So as I was mentioning earlier, what is the purpose of having a floating point or an integer data types? Why is there a need to differentiate the two if we can just, just call them numbers? It's a number type. So as what I've mentioned, the floating data types are more accurate, up to 15 decimal places. It's more specific, right? So when we talk about integers, it talks more about rounding up or rounding down numbers, whereas floating point numbers are numbers that takes up to the more accurate value, up to 15 decimal places, which means it keeps the integrity of a value. So when we say that the value of, for example, my weight or my height, let's say my height is 172.5 centimeters. So my height is accurately 172.5. I can't say that my height is 172 or 173 because it takes out the integrity of the value already. So that's why we have to differentiate an integer from a floating point. When I say the weight of my baggage when I go to the airport is around 40.776 kilos, and the limit is just around 40 kilos, that means I am overloaded because there's 0.776 that is extra. So that's a very good example of why we need to differentiate integers from floating points, because floating points keep the integrity of the value because it reads up to the most accurate decimal place, whereas for integers it only takes the whole number. All right, are we clear? Are we good with that? Do you have any questions? All right, no questions. Are we clear with data types thus far? All right, let's proceed with the next part. So this is an example. So the string data type just prints, this is a string where it passes the string into the S variable and then it prints. It prints S, which is a string. All right, another common concept that we have across programming languages would be conditionals. Most of us would try to question, how do they do their logic? How do they, how do they perform their tasks? Simply we do conditionals. If you come across that meme on Facebook, I'm not sure if you came across that meme wherein there was this parent or a mother who asked her child that if you see 5 eggs, buy it and melt. So I think I think you're pretty familiar with that. So it takes the conditionals. I mean, it talks about the conditionals. So conditionals, the very common are if and else statements, wherein we try to evaluate and compare certain criteria, and we execute the condition based on the evaluation that we did. So yeah, the if and else statement executes both true part and the false part of a given condition, which means if the condition is true, then the condition after true is executed, and when the condition is false, then the block of code that is false is executed. So take this as a flowchart example. So we have a test expression here. So we try to compare whether the test expression is true or false. And if it's true, then the block of code that is true is executed. Else, if it's false, then the block of code that is false is then executed. All right. So I will discuss more on that later. You will see examples more of the if else statement. I'm just trying to open it up so that you have an idea when we get there later. So next up is we're going to talk about another basic concept of programming. We have arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So basically, arithmetic operators are the basic mathematical operations that we have learned before. Well, in fifth grade, and third grade, second grade, or first grade, or in our basic lives, like we compute the how much discount are we getting from a certain um, a certain e-commerce site, a certain online shop. So, ang bilis natin dyan when we, when we try to when we try to compute discounts. So, it's part of the arithmetic operators doing at the coding part. So, yep, when we try to compute how many days it would take for our parcel to arrive in our homes, there's arithmetic operators there that we deal. So basically, it's just that it's a simple use of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but this time with the use of coding. So an example would be this one. So for addition and subtraction, I have here a variable x passed with a value 15, and I have a variable y with a value of 4. And then I printed on the third line x plus y is equal to the x plus y. So here, x plus y, 15 plus 4 is 19. And then x minus y is 11 because 15 minus 4 is 11. So it just prints here x plus y and x minus y. It basically just performs straightforward x plus y and x minus y. We can assign it to variable or we can directly print it just like what we did in the code. All right. The next operations are multiplication and division. Um, these operators basically act similarly with addition and subtraction, although they use a different symbol than the mainstream that we use, like X for multiplication or the division symbol. For multiplication, we use asterisk. For division, we use a backslash. Very similar, we can assign it into a variable or we can print it right away, just like here. So it prints x times y is equal to x times y. So 15 times 4, that's why in the output here we have 60. And x divided by y here is 3.75. So again, this is an example of a floating point value. By default, it prints a floating point because 15 divided by 4 has a remainder of 0.75. That's why it prints here, which means it preserves the integrity of the value. It preserves the accurate value, which is 3.75, rather than printing 3 or rather than rounding it up to 4. So it preserves the accurate value, which is 3.75. All right. Before we move on to the next, are there any questions with data types and arithmetic operators, if and else? Can I, can you type, you can just comment on the chat in our live. If you're watching from YouTube, you're watching from Facebook or from LinkedIn, you can just type in any of your questions as we go along so that we can tackle it as we do the discussions. But you can type in also clear if it's clear so far. All right, I see people saying that it's clear thus far. Okay, okay, that's good to hear. Okay, let's move on to the next. So the next discussion that we're going to talk about is about logical operators. So logical operators are used to perform operations on values and variables. So these are special symbols that carry out arithmetic and logical computations. So the values of operator is known as as the operand. So the one that we're evaluating is what we call the operand. So what are the example of logical operator? We have the and the or operator. So the AND operator, so we have two operands, for example, X and Y. So what is the example of this one? I think you've in a very basic logics, if you've have logics before, or there is I would like to relate everything with a meme because I know the common ground between us is social media, and I know we've come across these kinds of stuff on social media. If you've had that meme before, like if the husband is wrong and the wife is correct and it's correct, or if the husband is wrong, the wife is wrong, the wife is correct, something like that. So it's basically this one. It's basically it deals with the and or operator. So we have two operands, X and Y. So the and operator is very strict because it only assumes true or correct if all the operands are true. Meaning, if there's one operand that is false, then the whole operation outputs false. So an example would be this one. if I am raining, I mean, if I am bringing an umbrella and it is raining, so for example, if I am bringing an umbrella and it's true and it is raining, then I don't get wet. But if it's raining, but if I don't get an umbrella, meaning I get wet. Meaning if there's one operand that is false, it automatically turns false. Okay? So an example would be this one. Let's say I have A valued at 10, I have B valued at 10 also, and I have C valued at negative 10. So notice that we have two operands. Our first operand is if A is greater than 0. Now we ask ourselves, is A greater than 0? Is 10 greater than 0? Is that true or false? It's true, right? Because 10 is greater than 0. Next, we evaluate our second operand B. Is B greater than 0? Meaning, is 10 also greater than 0? It's true. It's also true. Meaning, if we compare both operands, true and true, the output would be true, meaning it will perform this block of code that the numbers are greater than 0. Always remember that if operands are true and true, then it outputs true. Otherwise, if it's false and true, or true and false, or false and false, it will output false. Meaning, the AND operator is strict that it only outputs true when all operands are true. Okay? Next one is the OR operator. The OR operator is kind of the one that is lenient when it comes to operators. So the OR operator returns true if either or at least one operand is true, meaning as long as there is one true statement, the OR operator outputs true. Example of this one is this. I have A at 10, B at negative 10, and C is 0. So I have two operands for the if. So this is the if already, the if else that I was mentioning earlier, the evaluating part. So I compare. A is greater than 0. So 10 is greater than 0. Correct, right? Correct, though that's true. In the second operand, B is greater than 0. My B is negative 10, but negative 10 is not greater than 0, meaning it's false. Now, OR operator, if A is true, if the operand first is true or the second operand is false, by rule of the OR operator, if at least one operand is true, then it takes the whole statement true. Meaning, since our first operand is true, then it prints either of the number is greater than 0. So that is what we mean by the OR operator appearing true if at least one operand is true. All right. Do we have any questions with the and OR operator? None? You have no questions with the and OR operators? Are you ready to try this one out with me? Are you ready to materialize what we've learned for the last 15 minutes? Don't worry. I'll go along with you as we discussed. So as we discussed, we'll do our coding. So for those who are registered on your StackTrek account, there's a live share there on the lower left. So you can start coding. So you can open that one as I discuss the activity that we're going to do. All right. So I have here a fun exercise that we're going to do using the concepts that we've discussed earlier. Okay. So I have here a theme park which is slowly getting back on their feet, on their business, because it's almost Christmas season and people are slowly getting back on their feet with their businesses opened up again after 2 years of being closed due to pandemic. So I have here an amusement park that sells tickets for adults and children. However, the tickets for adult and children are very different. And also, it's also different on the day that they visit. So the goal here is to sum up the total cost of a family or a group of friends that are going to the amusement park based on the day that they come in and how many hours that they're going to spend. All right. So my technique here, my tip for you when you are given an exercise is we try to analyze a problem. We try to evaluate what is given and what is asked from us. What is asked from us and what's our goal. And from there, we try to connect these two things. All right. So going back, I have a ticket selling for Monday to Sunday since amusement park is open from Monday to Sunday. However, the adult ticket is different, which means it is 150 pesos for Wednesdays and Saturdays. All right, for Wednesdays and Saturdays, the adult ticket is 150 pesos. For Sunday, it is more expensive at 200 pesos. And at Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are the cheapest rates with 120 pesos. So it differs depending on the day. Now, the child rate is a 20% discounted price from the adult daily rate. So let's say that the adult rate is 120, the child rate is 20% discounted from that 120. So that's around 120 minus 24 pesos. So that's 96. All right. So when we say 200, 200 times 20% discount. So that's around 40 pesos discount. So they're just going to pay 160. So, all right. Now, for your total bill, let's say I've computed the total bill for the family or the group of people visiting. 12% of that will be donated to charity. Since it's Christmas or a holiday season, for those who are not celebrating Christmas, we're going to donate it to charity. That is 12%. Now, you have five inputs. You have five inputs that we need in our program. It is the day of the week that they're visiting because we have to know what day they're visiting. We have to know the number of adults that are visiting. We have to know the number of children that are visiting. We have to know the number of hours that they're going to spend in the amusement park and how much they're paying. Let's say they paid less, we have to output not enough money. All right, not enough money. But if the output is more or equal to the amount, we're going to output how much is their change. All right. Now let's start coding. Let me know if you are already on your um, tool on your live share coding platform. Are you all here? Let's start once everyone is here. Just type in ready if you're ready to start. If you're already here on our live share tool. All right. Just type in ready or yes when you're ready to start. All right. I see people getting ready. I see yeses. All right. All right. I think we are ready to start. For those who don't have access, you can click on the lower left. There's a lower left there for your coding workshop, and there's a coding playground. So kindly click the coding playground for you to start. Okay, since I think it seems that everyone is ready, so let's begin. So again, starting out with the coding, we try to analyze what is the problem, what is the given, what is asked. Here, we know that we have to ask five inputs from the user, the day of the week, and the day of the week, the number of adults visiting, the number of hours, and the payment. But first, we do know that they have a given percentage for discount. So let's say child discount, child discount is how much? 20%. So 20%, how do we define that? It's 0.20. So that's the child discount. Next is the charity donation. So we're just initializing our constant. So this is the constants, meaning these aren't changing values. These are constant values in the program. So the child discount is at 20%. The charity donation is at 12%. Now, we do know that we need 5 inputs. So remember this one. We need 5 inputs from the user. We need the day of the week. We need the number of adults. So these are just comments that I'm typing. These are non-executable lines of code. When you see these hashtag, so these are just comments just to let me know also what part of the code I am working on. So these are non-executable lines of code. So you can do scribbles here or just notes for your use, for your perusal. So I have here like that. So child, and then the number of hours, and the payment. So these are non-executable lines of code. These are comments. All right. So I need to have 5 inputs. The day of the week. So how are we going to ask input in Python? Let's initialize these in a variable. So day, week is equal to str because it's a string, right? We cast it as string and we ask input. When we ask input in Python, we put input enclosed in parentheses, and we just typecast it to string because we know that the input of the day of the week is string. Next, the number of adult visiting is an integer because there's no half person, all right? So that can't be 1.5 adults visiting, all right? Um, it should be whole number. For a child, we have number of child int also because there is no such thing as a half human. All right. Next, number of hours. Let's say the amusement park implements per hour. They don't entertain 30 minutes use. So let's say 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So like that. So you also need to ask number of hours. So these values on the left that we're seeing, day, week, number of adults, number of child, number of hours, these are what we call variables. The one on the right that we see are what we getting are the inputs that we're getting from the user, and what the inputs that we have, we're passing it onto the variable using the equal sign. A single equal sign denotes assignment operator, meaning we are assigning whatever value on the right to the variable on the left. Now, payment is equal to, let's say they don't pay in centavo, they pay in, full bills or coins. So input. So we're done. We were able to ask 5 inputs from the user. So day of the week, adults, number of children, number of hours, and the payment. All right. Are you still following? Are we still good with this part? Any questions? Type in no questions if there are no questions. If you have questions, type in as we move along so we can discuss that. All right, I see that there are no questions, so let's proceed. Our next given earlier was if the day of the week is at Wednesday, and if at the day of the week is on Saturday, the rate is at 150. But if the if it falls on a Sunday, the rate is at 200. But if it falls to any other day, it is at 120 pesos. So why do we do that? We do that using the if else statement. So let's try. If if the day of the week that we're getting is equals So why are we using double equals? So why are we using double equals and why are we using not single equals? Single equals is used for assignment operator, meaning we're assigning a value to a variable. The double equals meaning we are comparing two values, meaning we are comparing the day of the week and the value. So don't confuse yourself. It's important that you make sure that you use double equals for if statements. So if day of the week is equal to Wednesday, or day of the week is equal to Saturday. All right? Either I can visit on a Wednesday or I can visit on a Saturday. So meaning, if the day of the week is a Wednesday or a Saturday, so always put a colon right after the statement. It will pose an error if you don't have. So just do a colon. So the day of the week is a Wednesday or the day of the week is a Saturday. We say the adult rate. So we're passing a value. The adult rate is at how much? 150. So that if the day of the week is a Wednesday or the day of the week is a Saturday, colon, adult rate is at 150. Notice we only use one equals here because we are already assigning 150 to adult rate. Here we use double equals because we are doing comparison. You still follow? Ah, there's a question here, why do I use all caps for line 1 and line 2? It's very important that I use all caps for line 1 and line. Actually, there's no difference when you run the code, but just for myself and for coding standards, I use all uppercase letters for constants. So these are constants, child discount and charity donation. That means these are not changing, okay? Not changing, these are constants. For variables, I use lowercase. There is a question here why the word input is not going blue on his end. Make sure that um, the um, the syntax is correct. Make sure there are no open parentheses, that it's not closed, or probably it's just probably it's just the the style of the playground. But don't worry, as long as we run it earlier, it's working. It's going to work. All right. So no questions in this part. Next, what if the day of the week is a Sunday? So else if, so for else if we have L if the day of the week is double equal to a Sunday, then the adult rate is at 200. Meaning it's changing. If the day of the week is a Sunday, then it's 200. Now, do I have to initialize all other days of the week? The answer is no. I just do else. Meaning, if it's not Wednesday or Saturday and it's not Sunday, meaning all other days. Okay?
Sorry to interrupt you po, Sir
I'm
Jive.
sorry, I was on mute.
You're on mute
Sorry.
po. Yes po.
Sorry.
Okay.
There's
There
a
you go.
question. Thank you. Thank you, Casey. There's a question here. Why do we make sure we select Python here on the top right? There's a question here why do we not use the curly bracket for if, like that? So we don't do that in Python. We only do that for other programming languages. Make sure to use the colon for Python. All right. I'm sorry, I was on mute earlier. Sorry. All right. Are we good with the if else statements? So here, else, meaning if it's not any other day like Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday, our adult rate is at 120. Then we're done. Are we still good? Are we still following? Are we still clear? Yes? All right. Now, we also know that for a student, for a child, I mean, the child is a 20% discount based on the adult. So we do here child rate is equal to the adult rate minus adult rate times the child discount. So meaning whatever is the adult rate, it subtracts the child discount of 20%, and that's the child rate. Any all right, so I think you're still following. So that's what we need to consider. So child rate is equal to the adult rate minus the adult rate times the discounted price. All right. Next, what do we need to consider after? We need to compute the ticket for the adult. So we say, let's say, I put a comment here for computation just to not confuse me. Also, make sure everyone that your if else statement has colon. Otherwise, if you don't have colon there, it will not indent directly and that will pose an issue. So make sure you have colon and it's indented automatically. Okay? So my computation, I say the adult ticket. Right now, I have a new variable. The adult ticket is equal to the adult ticket is equal to the adult rate. So I have here an adult rate. Depending if it's 200 or 150 or 120, multiplied by the number of adults visiting, multiplied by the number of hours that they're spending. So that's my adult ticket. It just computes the adult rate as the number of adults visiting times the number of hours. How about if I do the child ticket? Child ticket is just basically the child rate multiplied by the number of number of children visiting multiplied by the number of hours they're going to be spending. No, there's a question here. No, it doesn't matter if we skip lines as long as it's comments. It doesn't matter if we skip lines. All right. This one, no, because the comments are non-executable lines of code. So when Python reads this one, when it runs, it just basically reads as that. So it disregards the comments. All right. I think we're still clear. Yep. So I have computed already the ticket for the adult and the ticket for the child. Now I have to compute the total bill. So the total bill is just the child ticket plus the adult ticket. So total bill is equal to the child ticket plus adult ticket. That's total bill. Now, I have also a requirement earlier that 12% of our total bill would be donated to charity. So I will do here charity. Charity bill is equal to total bill multiplied by the charity donation. It's basically that. So I've computed already that 12% of my charity of my total bill will be donated. All right? All right. What's next? What is the next thing that we're going to do? I have a requirement earlier that since we're getting the payment here, if the payment is not enough or the payment is less than the total bill, it says not enough money. So we're going to do that. We're going to say if the the payment is less than the total bill, if payment is less than the total bill, it prints sorry, not enough money. All right? Sorry, not enough money. Else, it pushes through with the transaction. So what will I print with that after? So I will print I will compute the change. The change is equal to payment minus total bill. So that's the change. How much I paid minus how much am I supposed to pay. And then I proceed on printing. All right? Printing. So most of you would ask me later on what is the backslash n. So we'll talk about that. So I will say total bill, or I will do this f, meaning I am formatting my printing. So f total bill. So the f here is format. Okay, make sure that the f is outside the single quote. So total bill is, I use this one. Total bill. So when we do it inside the curly braces, we get the value and not the string literal. This one is the string literal, total bill, and like that. And then we do n. Why we do backslash n? Backslash n is for new line. Okay, backslash n is for new line. Don't confuse yourself with that. It's just for a new line. So next that I'm going to compute is this is the adult, total adult bill, and this is adult ticket. Next, total child bill is for the child ticket. All right, don't confuse yourselves. These are just comments. Next, all right. Next, for the total bill, that we're paying, we put the value of total bill like that. Now, I also need to put how much is going to charity. So charity donation is the charity bill. All right? And change is the change. And we are done. Are we still following with this one? Type yes if you have followed me until the very end of my code. I have a question here. Does it matter if I skip lines? Because I see that you skip some lines in your comments. So here, there's a question here that if I skip lines, so no, as long as your indentions are correct, because comments are non-executable lines of code. All right, your comments are non-executable lines of code. So when Python reads that, it disregards that one. So when Python reads that, it reads just like this one. So just for us to help with our reading, readability, code readability, Python disregards those things, especially with this one, so it disregards that one. As long as our indentation is correct, if your block of code is not under the if else statement, it should be on the pressed on the leftmost part of your code. Other than that, if it's inside a condition like if else, you can see here there's going to be a pink one, meaning it's not indented properly. So you can do manual indenting by putting two spaces. But if you put the colon properly, when you do enter, it will indent automatically. Yes. All right. How does the else know that's the last command? If, for example, you have multiple prints or other commands under else, um, when you say else, that's the last of the condition. All right, that's the last of the condition. Meaning, it still prints the logic under the else, but in terms of this one, you still have to put in terms of the logic or the operator, the else is the last resort. Okay, think of it as if it's raining, I would bring a cap if I do have a cap. If I don't have a cap, then I will bring an umbrella with me. If I don't bring an umbrella with me, then I will bring a raincoat. But if I don't have any, I don't have last resort, then I must not go out. It's just like that. So it takes all possible options first before it executes the else. Remember the discussion that I've discussed earlier. The if else statement executes every condition. It evaluates every condition and only executes if it's true. So meaning the else is our last resort. So make sure that your else is the last resort. All right. Last printing string. All right. Do we have any questions? Are we still following this one? Do we have any question? Are we still following with this one? Are we still good to proceed? Are we still? Yeah. All right. I see. Type in yeses or ready when we're ready to run our code. And it's also one thing to know if our code is working or we have errors when we run our code. So don't worry if you have messed out anything. So now I will teach you how to run our code using our playground. So go to custom input and you can put here the inputs. Now remember that in our code we ask 5 inputs: the day of the week, the number of adults. This is very important because this is a recurring issue or error met by our learners every code year future. So you have 5 inputs here: the day of the week, the number of adults, the number of children, the number of hours, and the payment that they're paying. All right. So make sure also that you have 5 lines here. When I only put Wednesday, when I only put Wednesday, it will do an error EOL while scanning string literal because I only placed one and it's supposed to have 5. So that means I have to put 5 lines. So let's say the day of the week is Wednesday. The number of adults visiting are 2. The number of children visiting is 1. The number of hours that they're going to spend is 2. And they're going to pay 1,000 pesos. So I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very important that it's in the same order and it's in the same number. All right. Now, when we run that, oop, while reading EOL, I'm getting EOL error. Let me check that. 1,000. And I only have 5 inputs though. Oh, exposing EOL. Let me see. Hold on while I try to check this one. Hold on. Let me read comments also. All right. So let me know if you're done with the whole code. Let me see that. Hold on. Yep. Hold on. I'm just trying to. For those invalid syntax, it might probably caused by your. It might probably be caused by your what do you call this? It may probably be about the colon that you're missing on your if statement. So that might be the one causing the issue. Hold on while I check this one. Hold on. Cool. Let me check this one. Why it's not reading as it should. Oops, where am I? Let me check that one. I changed that one to float earlier. Oh, well, scanning string literal. Let me just hold on to that. Sometimes these kinds of things happen. So don't worry, we'll try to fix our code before we end this morning. I mean, we will. Oh, okay. So I see here that the issue, okay, sorry. Check your line 27. I might have forgot to close my sorry, not enough money. I am so sure that is the error. On line 27, for those getting EOL, end of line, scanning string. So that is the one causing the issue. So make sure to close it properly. I assume that you are not closed on that. Okay? So are you still getting that uh, EOL error? I assume not anymore because you are closing this one already. So once that provide your custom inputs. Okay? Provide your custom inputs, and when you execute your code, no adults is not defined. It should be adults. Okay, sorry. Sorry, not enough money. So I don't have enough money to get that. What if I visit on a Tuesday? Let's say I visit on a Tuesday. That's just how much? 120. And then I spend 1 hour each. So it will output total adult bill is at 240, child bill is at 96. A total adult is 240, child is at 96. Total bill is at 336. Donation is at 40 pesos. And the change is at 64 if I pay 1,000 pesos. All right, I'm sorry for the confusion earlier. Make sure in the print, all your prints are enclosed with a single quote. With a single quote or a double quote. Sorry, that was my bad earlier. EOL, when scanning string literal, make sure that all of your string prints are enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. Okay? Expected and indented block. So when we say an error expected, make sure that these lines inside the else, if, and elif are indented. Otherwise, it will pose an issue if it's not indented. So make sure it's 2 spaces away from the left side. Otherwise, it will pose an issue. Okay? Anyone having issues? What is the difference between float and int? Actually, yeah, the one that I've discussed earlier, int values takes only whole numbers. Okay? Whole numbers. Float values take decimal places. So I said earlier, the requirement I will not accept as payment centavos. So I take is int. It can be depending on your requirement, but this one I prefer int. For adults and child, there's no such thing as half person, half human. So I put int. Okay? What is the errors that the others are getting? Syntax errors for the others, it might probably that your make sure that your if here is double equals and not single. Take a look at if I remove the colon, if I missed out the colon here, it will say syntax error. Okay? If I only have one equals here, it will also post an invalid syntax error. So make sure to check that one. What is the difference between float and int? I believe I answered that earlier. No output, make sure that you have your print statements printed. Okay? Make sure that you have your print statements. Child tickets is not defined. So for saying that it's not defined, probably because you don't use the correct variable. So here it's no child. So if you use here at the below what you use here child tickets. So child tickets. When you execute that, it will post an error that child tickets is not defined. Make sure that the value is consistent. Okay? Make sure that the value is consistent. So child tickets. Number of child, number of child. It should be the same across the program. Can you call a variable even before creating it? In Python, the moment you are putting an assignment operator, it's basically calling it, it's basically defining it already, but no, you have to define define it first. All right, the end part of the code here. Someone's asking here, why is it syntax error? It probably is in your equal sign. In your if is just single, or you missed out the colon on your if statements. When you say invalid syntax again, always remember it will post an invalid syntax when I remove the colon here, or when I use single equals for if or else statements. It will be invalid syntax. So make sure to check that, okay? Oh, oh, oh. So if you're going to output multi-line, so the string multi-line output that I did earlier, you have to use triple single quotes here. You don't have to put the backslash n. Okay, you can put the triple quotes here. So it will put the it will automatically do multi-line printing. Um, Others here getting end of line, make sure that your lines are closed. So don't do this enter, like when you do a next line here for print. If you only use single line, it should be multi-line, so use triple quotes when you print that one, okay? Syntax error, invalid syntax, it probably is missing the colon on the if, or missing the equal sign for the double equals. EOF error. All right, for EOF, make sure that your inputs here is the same number as your inputs above. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise, it will post an EOF error when it's not the same number. Okay? I would like to confirm with the team. I think the screenshot of the code will be uploaded also, that you can check.
Yes, hello po. So, that is correct. We will send a copy of the code later in a bit so everyone can check for their reference. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so did everyone complete already? Some of them are still trying to fix their code. No worries. We will send also later the full code
Yeah.
from from Jive so that you can cross check with the code that you have also written. Okay. So I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Jive? Yeah, all
Yes.
right. Thank you
Thank you
very
very much, Casey.
much.
I had fun. I had fun
Yes,
with
that
this
was
session
great.
also. I can see also people getting their code to work, so I'm pretty happy with that one, and I had fun. Thank you,
Yes, I'm
Casey.
sure. Yes, of course. I'm sure our audience here also from Region 4A and 4B enjoyed the workshop this morning. Yes, some of them have completed already. We also have people who are still trying to um, work on their code. That's okay. We will send a copy later. All right. Thank you again, Jive.
Thank you, Casey. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you. Have fun on your coding and just enjoy and explore more. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Jive. Bye. Okay, so before we proceed to our info session, I would like to extend this opportunity with everyone. This is if you like doing workshops like this or to volunteer for our workshops, you can go ahead and sign up on the link flashed on our screen. Again, this is an invitation for our volunteers if you would like to join or maybe try out in helping out our workshops. So again, kindly sign up on the link here. We have bit.ly/code your future dash volunteer. All right. Okay. Um, okay. All right. There you go. We also have our team still trying to also assist you guys with the code. Now, let's proceed to our full stack bootcamp info session. So, this is an opportunity that is also open to everyone here. Let's welcome Haifa Karina Baluyos, the head of growth of StackTrek.
Everyone. If today you are very interested to pursue a career as a coder in the IT industry, but isn't confident with your skills or with having zero or minimal experience, then this opportunity is for you. In the next few minutes, you'll learn about the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp that trains you to become a job ready programmer in just 4 months. So as you can see here, you have two options. The first one is the co-living bootcamp. This is the first of its kind here in the Philippines as it combines both learning and lifestyle into one exciting and rewarding experience. It means you will be living in one building with other boot campers and you will be able to leverage all of the amenities and the social experience of learning with other boot campers. And then the other option is digital. It is virtual. That means you can take this boot camp anywhere. By anywhere, it means if you are in the province, then you can take this boot camp at the comforts of your home. Or if you enjoy traveling, then you can also take the boot camp while you are traveling. Now, for you to be able to understand and get a picture of what exactly are we going to do when we enter the boot camp. So, let's assume that you already applied and earned a slot in the boot camp. Here in the next few minutes, you can also imagine and also experience virtually what it is like, what you will be doing, and what will be the experience like learning with StackTrek. So the first thing that you do in your day is have the daily discussions with your trainers and peers. So since you will be building real world applications, always remember that in this boot camp, we focus on your practical skills, the skills that you can really use and immediately practice. And in your daily discussions with your trainer, you will be covering various topics. And the topics that you will be covering will depend based on what module you are in during that day or during that week. So remember, you are building real world applications, and the benefit here for you, especially if you have zero experience yet, is that at the end of the boot camp, you will already have a bunch of projects that can showcase your skills based on the real world applications that you already built. So the next thing that you do after your daily discussions with your trainers and peers is that you now go on and do and complete your hands-on coding modules. It also covers advanced curriculum. We want to focus on the topics and the skills that is relevant today, not relevant 5 years ago, but relevant today and in the future as well. So after you go through the module, do the exercises, learn the things that you need to learn, once you hit a bump or you're having a difficulty, The platform or the bootcamp has a one-on-one live trainers capability. And what exactly is this? So in just one click, when you are having a problem with the exercises that you're doing or the project that you are doing, in just one click, you get connected to the next available trainer, and then you will be able to chat with that trainer immediately. So you can share your screen with the trainer, you can code together with your trainer, and you can discuss with the trainer with the challenges that you are having. As you can see, it's quite different because as you code together with your trainer, it feels like it's very interactive and it's very personal because the trainer is focused on you as you try to learn that specific skill or try to resolve that specific challenge. So here we would like to show you what it is like. So here we have an example of a trainer named John, and John is talking with his trainer and trying to consult the problem that he is having. So on the right side, there is that chat, and then at the middle is you can see the code that they are working or coding together. And this is an example of one of the projects from one of our boot campers. So they are building real world applications so that at the end of the boot camp, again, you will have a portfolio ready that showcases your acquired skills. But one of the important things that we also would like to highlight is that in this boot camp, it's not just about the technologies that you learn. At the start of the boot camp, you are going to focus on the module that builds you your core foundation. And having a strong coding foundation allows you to learn different technologies faster. The full stack bootcamp has demo days. So we have demo days each month, and what I will show you is one of the websites built by one of the programmers, and that he was able to build this website in just 1 month in the bootcamp. So as you can see, even if you have zero background, the bootcamp is beginner friendly enough for you to understand and be able to build websites even if you have zero background. In the StackTrek bootcamp, the platform that you will be using is the most advanced training technology here in the Philippines. And the big difference here, we are more focused and having you do more coding hours. If you do more hands-on, you are able to apply immediately the skills that you just learned. The more you apply the skills, the more you realize the things that you need to improve on. And as you learn and apply these skills, you get better and better at it. There you have two options, the co-living and the digital. Digital is virtual, so you can take this one anywhere. And co-living is that you will be living with other boot campers and learning at the same time. Now, we would like to add more details on what the co-living is like. So the co-living bootcamp, you don't have to worry about anything else but to learn and experience life. You don't have to worry about spending for food anymore. It is already covered. Also, the accommodation is also included. The good thing about it is that beyond just learning, of course, we need to live our lives. There is a rooftop wherein if you need a breather, you can just be there, get some air. There are lounges that you can chill around. So in the co-living bootcamp, it's really different than just a typical bootcamp. You learn because that's the main thing that you want to do in the bootcamp. But also there are in-person sessions wherein you get inspired from people from the industry. In the co-living bootcamp, there are barbecue nights, movie nights, and weekend parties that you can be part of and socialize. You can also leverage on the amenities and gym program. This is what it looks like to be part of the co-living bootcamp. It's very different. You learn, but at the same time, you have fun. So the co-living bootcamp is situated mainly around BGC and Makati. So you can imagine that if you want to also go out, it's BGC is just 5 minutes walking distance. And the benefits of being part of the bootcamp is that we have job partners wherein we negotiated with them that if you are a graduate of the bootcamp, you will have at least 25 to 30K starting salary. And this is quite high considering that you have zero experience and you are still starting out. So one of the key benefits here at StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is that more than just a learning, we help you accelerate your career. So don't worry about having zero experience. Don't worry about being a non-coder and you want to enter the industry. Because if you finish and be a graduate of the bootcamp, you already have guaranteed job interviews. And if you graduate at the top 30, then you have guaranteed job offers already. There's no stopping you in getting the IT industry. As long as you are with the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp, then the opportunities for you is beyond just learning. It goes over to you landing your first job and landing a highly paying job as well. So here, why IT? These are just the published rates of IT today. If you have 1 to 4 years, you will be earning on average 45K monthly. If with 5 years, you will be earning around 80K. As you level up, let's say to senior manager, you can even go to 172,000 for your monthly salary. Once you are able to enter the IT industry, the first step is the hardest, but once you are already in, over opportunities are left and right. So you really have high earning potential once you are able to enter the IT industry. And with that one, if you are interested, you can apply now. The link is here below. It's bit.ly/StackTrek Bootcamp application. And if you have questions, then feel free to find us on Facebook. You can message us there. And we hope that the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is one of the opportunities that you will leverage on as you enter the IT industry and land your first tech job. And with that one, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day.
There we have it. So that's the Stack Trek Full Stack Bootcamp. We look forward to seeing you there at the bootcamp. Okay. For those who are asking for the full code, can we have it flashed on the screen, please? You may go to this link so you can cross check with your code. Okay, there we go. We have bit.ly/CYF dash region 4 dash full code. So you can check the full code from Jive. All right. And of course, for those who have participated, you can get your digital certificate of participation. Just submit your information here at bit.ly/CYF dash region 4 dash cert. Okay. So that's bit.ly. Okay, let me show it here. There. bit.ly/CYF dash region 4 dash cert. Okay. And if you have any questions about the bootcamp, you can message us at our Facebook page or you can go to fb.com/stacktrek. Also, the league is still going on at Stack League. If you're interested, if you want to try out the competition and win prizes, you can go ahead and visit the Facebook page. That's also fb.com/Stack League and message there. Also, if you want to send in any inquiries, ask for more information, you can email us at info@stacktrek.com. Of course, this is just one of the many Code Your Future workshops here at StackTrek. You can head over to our Facebook page to get the latest updates. That's fb.com/stack StackTrek/events. And don't forget to join our FB community, the Code Your Future community, where you can connect with your fellow Filipinos. And I think that's it for our workshop this morning. I hope you guys had fun with your first ever, especially for those who joined us for the first time. And congratulations, you have completed your first code, and that was just in 40 minutes. So we look forward to seeing you also in our next workshops and learn more. All right, so that's it. On behalf of the StackTrek team, I would like to say thank you to everyone for joining the Code Your Future 40 Minutes Coding Workshop for Non-Coders in partnership with DICT Region 4A and 4B. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.